Each day that passes, I can't help but realize how far we are moving away from humanity. We see things in the media and we hear about incidents that happen, and we continue to divide our boundaries into their issues versus our issues. But as someone who makes a living on providing employee and professional development, I am growing increasingly more outraged about seeing so many of these incidents continue to occur within our nation. And I know that so many of these issues go much deeper than we even realize. Many of the issues, I would argue, have to deal with our implicit and explicit biases. Now, our explicit biases are those views that we are aware that we possess. Those are the perceptions that we have about certain people that we know we carry. But one of the biggest influencers that we are seeing in today's society is our implicit biases. And those are the biases that we aren't even aware that we hold. They are the thoughts and ideas that come up in our subconscious that we may not even be aware of. And our implicit and explicit biases are a culmination of our life experiences, of our individual life experiences. And they will shape how we interact with, respond to, and even engage with, and whether we can relate to people from a particular segment of the demographics. It's one of the reasons why in this recent event in Tulsa, when the police reached Mr. Crutcher and arrived on the scene, they didn't see him as a stranded motorist. They saw him as a suspect, as someone who had committed a crime or was likely to commit a crime, rather than just having a man who had his vehicle stranded in the middle of the road. And rather than approaching from a perspective of how can we help, they arrived with guns drawn, multiple police cars, as well as a helicopter. Now, how many times have you seen someone on the side of the road with a flat tire and multiple police cars arriving with a helicopter that wasn't in a police chase or something? And it's very unfortunate because people's lives are being taken. They don't realize the impact that our implicit and explicit biases are having. Dr. Martin Luther King said that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And it's not just in our police departments that we're seeing these issues with implicit and explicit biases, but they happen in our everyday life that many people don't even realize. They determine how much patience a teacher will have and whether they will kick your kid out of class. It determines how much leeway or how much flexibility you want to be able to give to someone when negotiating the price of a car. It also determines who will get interviewed, hired, and even promoted within our job environments. So our implicit and explicit biases affect much more than we realize, and until we begin to identify these issues, we will never resolve them. It's also one of the reasons why people can be vehemently against Colin Kaepernick, as well as many of the other athletes that are standing up and starting to protest, but can be eerily silent with seeing individuals' lives being taken. And so we as a country, we as a nation need to be able to move forward. We need to determine what our own individual implicit and explicit biases are and ask yourself, what are those things that I hold against other people? Did something happen in the third grade? Did someone steal my bike in the third grade and now I don't like a particular segment of the population? Because limited or negative exposure can make people fearful oftentimes. But until you determine and realize that that's the issue, you will never be able to resolve it. And if we continue to move in the direction that we're moving, we will become the divided states of America. Come on, people. We are so much better than that. We are a great nation and we need to act like it. Let's get our people. Let's start caring for our people. Let's start caring for humanity, regardless of your skin color, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, everyone. Because your life is important. Your life as an individual is important, regardless of who you are. Thank you.